Hey guys, welcome back to Mr. Reviews. What we have here is Fansproject's TFX-06, their Parallax armor for Optimus Prime. So taking a look at the height here, he is about 7 3/4 inches tall with the armor on, as opposed to that 6 inches. So he gains almost an inch in height from the Classics Prime mold. Give you guys a roundabout here. And the only accessories are these two guns that you see on the side. They become his wind vane. We'll get it transformed in this review as well. Now here's the comparison. I'm just starting it off with Striker Manus from Make Toys. As weird as it sounds, alright, don't kill me, but I think that the Fansproject armor looks better than Striker Manus. It's just bigger, it's meaner, and some of the changes they've made, like the shoulder armor and things like that, it's just plain filled out a lot more than the old prototype I have, which we'll compare in a second. So looks wise, I am going to go ahead and give it to the Fansproject armor, but as a toy, Manus is much more functional. I mean, if you're into posing, playing, etc., Manus is where it's at. But in terms of just display presence and stuff like that, especially amongst Classics figures, and there is a bias because Fansproject, they really got me into the third-party game. If you look in the background, I'm big on super robots, Japanese mecha and stuff like that, even before Transformers. So I have a bias towards this style in general. But with that being said, I do think that this one looks better because it's been brought up a lot. Like, which one do I buy, etc., etc. If you want to play, in my opinion, if you want something that looks pretty. And here he is next to an oldie but goodie. This is the TFCon exclusive. I think it was either 2011, 2012. Don't know off the top of my head, but this is the exclusive version of DIA Commander. Also uses Classics Prime, and just for the record, this is a Classics Prime. I've had this for years and years, like since when I first started collecting it in 2011 or so. I didn't know that it was custom painted, so that's why like the thighs look different and things like that, but it is just a Classics Optimus Prime base. But again, TFCon exclusive DIA Commander. Alright, and lastly, this is the first prototype that I had. I've had this a year, maybe 2 years or so, but it's went through a number of changes. Off the top of my head, the heads are different, the connection points are different. They still latch on the same, but this one's much thinner, goes lower. They still have the same kind of set point there, but this one seems to have more look down room than this one. I don't know if it's just something from my angle. Well, they might be the same. The head sculpts actually look exactly the same. This one, it has improvements. These guns back here, they lock to where this is just a free slide and held on by friction. They added these shoulder pads here, which add some coverage to the front cab area by the door. The hands totally changed, so now you have to take them off the traditional Classics hands or whatever. It's just 2 screws in there and take them out. Now in this video, I'm not going to do the armor configuration. Reason being, there are 2 really, I guess, thin tabs that clip on in the back of these guys, and they stress from even putting it on once, so I'm not trying to move that back and forth. In the Ultra Magnus armor review, which is coming next, I have that here, so I'll film it right after this actually, but just because my second one of those hasn't been put on yet, so I can actually film myself putting it on, but that's why I'm not doing the actual armor attachment. Plus, it's something that literally takes 2 minutes of your time to do. You're just snapping pieces on, so you do have to unscrew the hands. They are smaller, and what I like about this, the piece for the weapons to peg into, it's a lot more centered in the palm, where this one is at like the top of the palm, but it also goes through the Classics Optimus Prime hands too. The legs, actually, the armor for those looks exactly the same. Now, one thing I will say, this is actually Henkai, or Henki, however you pronounce it, Optimus Prime, so I might actually switch these 2 armors out, because looking at it, the blue on the Henki actually matches this leg armor a lot more. So there you go. Those are the changes that I see. Outside of that, like the door pieces look exactly the same. On the back, the bumpers look exactly the same to me. Nothing's changed in the color of the armors and whatnot. So yeah, in my opinion, the Henki because of the legs, matches a lot better. Where for like Magnus, get the classics. The legs are completely white and don't match the armor, but we'll go over that. Top to bottom, bottom to top, and I will say, if you see things about the configuration that are different on this guy, it's because I'm configuring it just in the way that I like it to look. And it's not to say that the official way or whatever is necessarily bad to me, but it comes with a lot of options, and even in the instructions and promo art and stuff like that on this one, they are not consistent in where things are placed and this and that. So there's no true, like, this is where the guns go, etc., etc. But I'm just doing what looks good to me. Now we're just checking out the poseability. I mean, particularly for having these larger collars, he does get a lot of head movement, full 360 turn, up and down movement. It's pretty cool. You do have to kind of be tricky with angles, because if you're looking from that down view, that does get covered there, but not so bad that you're stressing to figure it out or anything like that. That's more of a photography thing than a pose on your shelf kind of deal. But it's the exact same poseability as Classics Prime. Nothing changes. It's just armor on top of them. Now these guns here, they can move if you want a more traditional smokestack look. Now these two pieces, on the prototype, they weren't glued like that. So if you're lucky enough, well, I guess it's bad QC, but to where they're not glued, you can take those off. And these two come to about here, so you can actually have shorter smokestacks if you want that look to them. So these go up and down, in and out, and like I said, they're just different options you could do. I just like that look. With them out like so. So, still maintains his waist swivel and everything like that. I grab him by the waist because on this because of the transformation, the top part of the chest rotates individually. But I don't know if the person who customized this did something with the legs, but these are crazy tight. Like, it's a good thing, but this one's really heavy, so I'm sure it can balance and get those poses and stuff like that, but you know, just for the sake of looking at the leg split. Now, one thing I will say in terms of heel balance, it comes with these inwards like so. So right out of the box, take them and put them back, you've got that much more heel space. Now you can there are pegs under here, so you have to unpeg it to make this whole thing move, or the feet themselves tilt individually. So whatever looks best for you. There's some where I'll move the whole thing, somewhere I'll move the feet. It's literally just a looks thing. Now let's check out how he looks with his guns pegged in. That just to get some kind of pose. Now those peg in, and this, believe it or not, it's not because of the armor. It's actually this toy is so damn tight to where if I do switch this out with that Henkai armor I showed you guys earlier, I'm gonna have to take that out, because even taking it out for this, or take it apart and polish everything, because even taking it out for this comparison, it just felt so loose. There you go. Let's get this guy transformed. All right, now getting this guy transformed, you do take these two pieces off. All right. That just goes back. These two pieces. Go over like so. So Alright, once you got them at that point, so you can see where everything's at, keep the shoulders in place. Bring the arms back. And then just like the old Classics armor, just bring these flaps out, tilt the windows like so. Then on the shoulder armor, this is the part that flips over. There we go. Flip that all the way around there. And now, you take all of this and bring it back. Keep that part pegged in there. All that, bring it back. Alright. Alright, now once you're there, bring this around, watch the bumper, because it doesn't really matter, but you don't want to knock it off. And then just start getting everything secure, tabbed, etc., etc. Alright, so there's tabs up here. We'll worry about that in a second. But I just want to make sure everything's in the right place first. Right, again, inward bend at the elbow. And that new shoulder flap, it was something that was added later. So I don't really believe a lot of the transformation was engineered around that. Kind of just made sure it was done. So that's the base of it. Alright, I'm just trying to get these things in the right place so that I can start getting everything together. So that side's good. There we go. Just need to bring it up some apparently. And then this piece has two tabs that tab into both those sides. Now with this flap here, that's all. Take it, fold it down, and it stays over. Now this piece, it doesn't connect anything like that. Just make it go straight. Now with the legs, put the feet up. Right there. Right there. Bring legs together. And then this right there tabs in. Alright, you see it all goes on pretty tight. These two knees go down. Just so damn tight. And that was the thing, right there, it's not the armor. Alright, so there's that. Looks like my camera got crooked. Put these wheels on the back. Bring them around. Like so. These fists, just turn the hand parts around. Oops, make sure that that's still tapped in. And it kind of latches on. Alright. If you can see what's going on there. Take the fist, and then this line right here. Fists come down, latch them around. Then just put the thumbs down. Bringing those up again, really tight. So there you go. Now the guns, bring that around, unfold that, down, rotate. The heck? Oh, that actually stays there. So, 1, bring it up, 1, 2, rotate, and of course make sure the handles are in too, but rotate, rotate, there you go. Now there are tabs right here for right here, right here for right here, and these two in front for the front there. And you just kind of wedge it in. So and there's a male and female tab on the front to where they peg into each other as well. So alright, so these two pieces here, just take these, straighten them out, and then they clip. And these two parts here, there you go. Okay, and there's the alt mode. Pretty much like a space cab. The wheels do roll, which is pretty cool. All wheels rolling. And it even has the ability to connect with the Classics Prime, the G3 trailer, also by Fansproject. And this is the regular DIA commander on the back. Now it connects right here. It's just a big circle. It gives you full rotation. Let me see if I can get far back enough. Alright, there we go. But I mean, if you got the room to display it like this, it's a pretty neat perk to have in it all. But there you go. This has been Fansproject's TFX-06 Parallax armor for Classics Optimus Prime, TFX-07. The box over here is for Ultra Magnus. Now, do I think these are worth it? Yeah, I mean, if you've got a spare Optimus lying around, like for me, I have 5 or 6 classic Optimus Primes. It's just one of those things to where if you collected classics, when people were kind of getting out of that, they'd sell them in big lots. Everybody had a classics Optimus, so you would see one figure you like, and then maybe like 5 figures you want to sell off or whatever, so you get your figure really cheap. But it seems like Classics Prime was always in those lots for me and stuff like that, and I'm sure for a lot of people as well. So I know I'm not the only one with Classics Optimus Primes lying around. But to buy one, you know, particularly if it's complete loose and like new sealed, you're looking to spend anywhere from 30 on the low end to maybe 70 or so on the high end, you know, for a mint in box and stuff like that. So that's on you, because that's an additional cost. Like the kit's 40, but if you're spending another 30 to 70, all of a sudden it's like now a $70 to $110 piece. You know, that's where it comes in, the price. It's sturdy. They've made a lot of improvements from the prototype, and honestly, it's grown on me a lot, even sitting here, mostly because of the improvements and stuff like that. I was surprised that I thought it looks better than Striker Magnus when I had them side by side, because, you know, getting Striker Magnus still as a toy, that's just it. But design wise, I do like the look of this because it hits that anime Power Master look very, very well. And of course, there's Striker Magnus coming out too if you want an actual Power Master Optimus Prime toy. So you got your options out there. But in terms of this, for me, it's cheap enough to say, yeah, go ahead and get it. It's well built enough to say you're not going to have any problems with it or anything like that. But just remember those tabs on the back of this top part here, when you connect those for the first time, pretty much plan on keeping it on there because they do stress even after one. Other than that, pretty much QC free. And the articulation, if you like the articulation of the classics out, or the classics Voyager Optimus Prime mold, then you're gonna love this because it's that plus some. Good looking, plays decent, cheap. So it is what it is. If this was a $60 add-on kit, then I'd probably say, nah, just use that money for something else. But at $40, it's right in that sweet spot to where, you know, it's okay. And you can only order it on the store, the store.fansproject.com. I'll link that in the description. It's like $16 no matter how much you order. I ordered 2 of these kits, plus like some dyno drivers and stuff like that, little diaclone men, and it was $16. It was freaking sweet, and it came in a week. So yeah, I recommend it for what it is, but just know what you're getting out of it. You know, this isn't a newer piece. It might have just come out, but it's been kind of on the back burner. Haven't been designed and ready for, I believe, years now. So anyway, this has been another Kuma style review. See you next review. It'll likely be the TFX-07 Ultra Magnus armor, and check out the full written and pictorial review on kumastyle.com. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you very much.